I'm James. We're in the Net News Ledger studio. I'm here with Logan Ollivier. Logan, you're running in the McIntyre Ward for the civic election. How's it going?
It's going good. It's been a long campaign. It's surprising. It's been just about over 9 months already since I started my campaign. I was the first guy in the city to put my name in, get my papers signed and ready to go January 2nd. But it's been a long road. I've heard a lot of interesting things from the people in McIntyre. A wide variety of ideas that I think have really contributed to my campaign and giving me ideas on how to move the city forward.
Now, that's been a theme of the campaign, is moving the city forward. What does Thunder Bay need to do?
We have to start thinking bigger. For the most part, I feel for decades we've been in a perpetual state of short-term thinking. What do I need to say as a politician to get to the next vote so I can keep my seat and maybe move forward in baby steps? I think that hasn't served us well. In fact, one of the biggest issues we have is an entirely huge lack of density in Thunder Bay. You look at some of the stats with that. 333 people per square mile living in Thunder Bay. In our downtown metro density, it's 47 people per square mile. Density has become a huge issue, and because we're not thinking long term, we haven't realized that that's left us in a position where we have too much infrastructure and not enough people to pay for it. And that's one of the biggest reasons why our taxes are so high. So things like that is just an example of how we just think, okay, what do I need to say to keep a few people happy to get to the next vote? And I think we have to change that. We have to start looking long term. How are our decisions now going to impact us 15, 20 years down the line? Because if we look at how high our taxes are right now, some of the areas in McIntyre, people are paying $6,000 a year in property taxes. In 15 years, is a guy who is just leaving high school right now going to be able to afford a house in that area? There's no way. We're talking taxes upwards of $10,000 at that point if we continue to be raising at the level we are. So long term, we have to be planning to make sure that our young people have every opportunity, advantage to take care of their lives and have the opportunities that we've enjoyed.
Now, some of the key issues in the campaign voters are telling you. What have you been hearing at the doors?
Taxes are a big issue. Community safety is another issue, and really, I've heard a lot of a desire to get more accountability from our politicians. It's easy for a lot of the candidates to say, and this is what I heard during an election forum we took in last week. Everyone says, I'm going to lower taxes and I'm going to fix the roads. Infrastructure is a big thing, so we're going to fix it all and lower taxes somehow. In reality, that's all the same old stuff that we've been hearing for years. Empty promises that aren't going to come true, and candidates really either need to start being truthful and saying, okay, yes, we need to fix the roads and the infrastructure in this community, but we can't lower taxes at this point because we have way too much infrastructure to take care of at this point. So it's one or the other. And right now, the only possibility we have is making some long-term decision making that's going to allow us to have increased density, increased growth, more people paying for the same amount of infrastructure we have right now. So we're not maintaining new and building new, or maintaining old and building new. We're maintaining and slightly building up. We need to be far more careful with how we're planning.
One of the issues that's come up almost citywide has been the event center. What's your thoughts?
The event center is I think the whole issue has been handled poorly from the start. I do think that it is very financially prudent to be looking at replacing the Fort William Gardens. It's a very old facility, far too old than we probably should have let it get at this point. That being said, we need to find what facility is the best for us. Do we need to have the convention aspect of it? Do we need to have just a new arena? All these questions were kind of just glazed over at the beginning. We've been forced into this position we're in right now. I still would have supported moving forward towards phase 3. I think we've put the money into it. We've done the studies. We have a good chance of getting federal and provincial funding, and if we get that, it's going to be far cheaper for us to be replacing the Fort William Gardens now as opposed to 10 to 15 years from now, which would cost probably about $200 million. And I'm not going to go ask the public to pay that much money in that short amount of time. So it needs to be done sooner rather than later.
Now, one of the things that you've been doing, and for a lot of us who are using social media, you've had the soapbox going for a while on city council.
Yeah.
And taken a new approach to bringing information to the public.
Well, I'm a former broadcaster. I did news and sports for 5.5 years in Thunder Bay, covered council for most of that. So going to City Hall was always part of the job, and I had trouble giving it up when I left for the private sector. So I did create the Soapbox, which is an online social media forum where I will be going to council and giving information on what the councillors are saying and what issues are coming up, giving my opinion and asking for other people's opinions. It's been really successful so far. 2.5 years of the Soapbox already, and the public is really interested in having their say. And I think it's something that if I get elected, I'm not going to stop doing. I want the public to have their say, and I think that we need to be as interactive as possible to really engage more people. Engaging the youth has been something that has been very big over the last couple of days, with Shift having an advanced poll at their next meeting. And to me, the interesting thing is that there's resistance towards becoming interactive, be giving people a chance to have their say. And to me, you shouldn't have to always go to council to give your input. If you have a question online on Twitter, I'd be happy to answer it. I'd be happy to ask that to administration if it's something I haven't thought of. The more people that are asking questions, giving ideas, taking part in the conversation, the better end result we're going to have. So as leaders and as city council is concerned, we should be welcoming that sort of interaction and that sort of activity from the public. And I've been doing it for years.
Now, how do people find you online?
You can find me on my website, www.loganollivier.com, on my Facebook page, Vote Logan McIntyre 2014. Find me on Facebook at Logan Ollivier or Twitter at Logan Ollivier.
Logan, thank you for coming in and sharing with our readers and viewers.
Thank you very much. It's been fun.
Take care. Excellent. Now,